Ramadan said it's going to take time. How much time, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think we have time. And I would beg Professor Ramadan to go around the Muslim world explaining to women in Saudi Arabia they can look forward to freedom in 600 years' time, and that gay people in the Muslim world can look forward to having their first meaningful relationship 6 centuries from now.
Douglas Murray has never been one to shy away from hard conversations. In this video, he engages in a debate about the superiority of Western values as compared to values in Islamic countries. This is not to say that Muslims are bad people, but that Western societies governed by Judeo-Christian values are a better place for people to live in as compared to the alternative. Douglas Murray did not hold back.
Hey Veracity, welcome back to the channel. It's a girl VeraMoore, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Modern Wisdom, and we have This is Grotesque, Douglas Murray Conference Leftist Professor on Islamic Values. Alright guys, let's go. And so this is about the Islamic, Douglas Murray and the Muslims again. I saw the Muslims would not like Douglas Murray because he has been on their necks. Like, he has really been saying a lot about the Muslims and the Hamas situation. Let's go on, guys.
Of the words in the motion, we say that we shouldn't be reluctant. We should be to assert the superiority of our values. Superiority is, I think, the troubling word we've all got here, and a couple of my predecessors have already mentioned this. You don't have to go very far in Britain, or the West in general at the moment, to find people's unwillingness to assert the superiority of their values. But they know the superiority of their values because they live with the superiority of their values. I talk at a lot of campuses, and I was at one last night in London where a student got up and started protesting because I had said that an Islamist government was of itself a bad thing, which I think it is. I just said to this student, and it's not a hard question you'd have thought to ask, I just said, well, name me one Islamist government state that you would want to live in. And this is a serious question, ladies and gentlemen. It is also a personal question, and one which, if people were honest, they would admit is personal. As a gay man, there's not a country that's run by Muslims which I could live in. One of my best friends is in hiding again tonight, Dayan Hasiali, because of what she says, and she'd be killed if she went to any Muslim country.
Wow.
And I think that matters. And I think the way in which it affects our personal lives does matter, and we should not ignore it. We have the great blessing of living under this system, and we take it for granted, and we spit on it, and we can because we're living in that freedom. But I beg you, ladies and gentlemen, not to pretend that that means that we shouldn't assert the superiority of that system, because that is what it is. It is a superior system.
During his participation in debates and public discussions, Douglas Murray often challenges his audience to consider the practical implications of ideological beliefs. His question to a student about naming an Islamic state they would prefer to live in is not just rhetorical. It serves to highlight the tangible differences in the quality of life and liberties between Western countries and many Islamic states. Western values are rooted in the Enlightenment principles of rationalism, skepticism, and the quest for scientific truth. These values have fostered environments where freedom of speech, gender equality, and the rule of law are not just ideals, but everyday realities. For example, Western societies generally...
Wow. Douglas Murray said something about his friend, that he said he knows someone that she cannot go back to any Islamic country, because if she goes, she'll be killed. This is one thing about the Muslim community. They are violent. They can be violent, Violence. It's crazy. Let's go on.
Generally offer greater protection for the rights of women and minorities, freedom of expression, and religious tolerance than many Islamic countries. According to the World Bank and various human rights organizations, countries that embrace these Western values tend to rank higher in measures of democracy, economic freedom, and overall human development. Reports from Freedom House, for example, consistently show that Western democracies score higher on indices of political freedoms and civil liberties contrasting sharply with the scores of many Islamic nations where such freedoms are severely restricted. Other public intellectuals, such as Sam Harris and Ayaan Hirsi Ali, have also voiced similar criticisms. They argue that the failure to criticize the oppressive aspects of Islamic governance out of a misplaced sense of cultural sensitivity is itself a betrayal of the liberal values that many Western societies cherish. Harris, in particular, emphasizes the need for honest dialogue about the consequences of different cultural practices, pointing out that tolerance of intolerance is a dangerous paradox.
I would just like to remind voters about the motion itself. As you said, it's not about whether Islam is superior to Christianity, it's not about Eastern and Western civilization. It is about whether it is a good thing to assert Western values. The tradition that we have had for so long of telling everyone how much better we are, forcing our cultures on others. I think the key words here are afraid and assert. And I would argue that we should indeed be deeply afraid of this Western conceit and arrogance, and see in it the Achilles heel of an otherwise remarkable Western civilization. There's so much we have achieved, and contrary to what Douglas was saying, I did, in my speech, very much celebrate our achievements in economics, in freedom, in politics, but this is the dark side, this continual ability that we have to assert our values violently and non-violently on others. And it is this, I think, that the debate centers on. It's not about Islam, as the lady said so rightly at the back. What about Buddhism? What about Confucianism? All these other systems. I think the key one has to bear in mind is, for all that we have to be proud of the West, I believe it is in the arrogant and forceful association of the superiority of Western values that we have consistently undermined all that is most precious in our civilization.
Douglas Murray is about to offer a powerful response in a moment, but let me first quickly highlight something important. Douglas Murray's argument is not merely about cultural superiority, it is about recognizing and defending a system of values that has proven its ability to provide the highest standards of freedom and prosperity. By urging the West not to be reluctant to assert the superiority of its values, Murray is calling for a robust defense of the principles that allow societies to thrive through innovation, debate, and continual self-improvement. This discussion is essential in today's globalized world, where the clash of values can sometimes lead to significant social and political tensions. Recognizing the benefits of Western values and advocating for them is not just about asserting superiority, it's about promoting a proven framework for human rights and societal well-being across the globe.
Mr. Dalrymple did, however, just make an allusion there. He talked about the West's virtues. He talked about it being rich and productive. He did not focus, for instance, or even mention the fact that it is also free. I think this matters, ladies and gentlemen. He was counting the amount of money you make, not the virtues of your life or the values of your systems or the rights that you enjoy. I'm quite loath in a way to mention Iraq, but somebody just did. This is usually the moment at which I start to lose the debate. But I would, since most of you voted anyway, it doesn't matter. The Iraq would indeed be a much better place if the parties of God were not killing our secular friends and allies there. And I think it's a grotesque thing to hold the West and Western values and liberty and freedom and democracy and the rule of law, blame them for religious fundamentalists blowing up our secular allies. And I hope you noticed that, ladies and gentlemen. And why we compare them with Muslim values? I agree with the lady. We could have focused on Buddhist values. We could have focused on any other types of values. The reason why it kept on coming back to it is, as you know, because this is the matter of our time. And it is not hard at the moment to notice the calls for the different type of societies that people want to create. And that there is a clear difference. And I hope, ladies and gentlemen, when you vote for the right side tonight, you make this clear. There is a difference between the Western states which practice their own values that we sometimes mistakenly call Western values. And yes, we should call them liberal values, and yes, we should call them universal values, but we identify them with the West because they came from the West, because they were nurtured in the West, and that they are hopefully, I hope you will agree, asserted by the West and believed in by the West. We are the people that can spread this. Thank you.
Wow, Douglas Murray. The thing I love about him, which I always say in all my videos, is the fact that he always speaks the truth, he always speaks facts. Is never afraid to say the truth as it is, and he does not mince words. I don't know what Islamic value is all about, but I feel like sometimes they can be too aggressive, you know, the way they take their religion. It's like, it's, I don't know what to say, but it is just too much. And this whole amass of a thing, you know, Muslims, they're migrating to the West and they want to change the culture and the tradition of the West. Like, it is just crazy and insane. So what exactly are these Islamic values? Why are they promoting terrorism? What do you guys think about this video? What are your takes about this? I would love to know in the comment. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up and please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, join Veracity. Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.